On today's episode, we're talking about this week's headlines featuring Britney Spears, Taylor Swift and her jet, and the game. Then we'll be asking the question, should a band change their name if their sound changes? And then Post Malone never ceases to amaze us. All this coming up. All right. Welcome back to the Strange Noise Podcast, everybody.
Hello, friends.
What's up? Keep this going.
We are glad to have you guys here.
Yes. As you can tell, this show is starting out pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We're ready for a good one. That intro took a little bit to get done.
Yeah.
But
Couple takes.
yes, welcome back, strangers. Welcome back, any new viewers, listeners to the podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in. If you are wherever you're viewing us, we have the podcast on video. You can check it on YouTube. We have music with the podcast if you listen on Spotify. And we're also on Deezer.
We are on Deezer.
Sponsored by
For
Deezer.
all you geezers, we're on Deezer.
So
So
geezers on Deezer.
enjoy the podcast wherever you guys are listening. And let's get into this.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's roll
All
our
right.
sleeves up.
Hell yeah. Well, they're already up.
Just do a
Any
little
higher?
cuff.
No, you're going to see my farmer stand.
Oh shit, it's getting pretty bad.
I know.
I've been working on mine, just like
Yeah?
here and there. Yeah.
Smart.
Just like pop on a tank top, walk outside in my backyard.
I need
A little
that.
bit.
Yeah, get a little freaking sun.
I always plan to okay, I need tank talks. Tank talks. Tank
You need tank tops.
tank tops.
Tank tops.
Tank tops.
Yeah.
Tank tops.
These TTs in my life, you know? TTs. Anyways.
TTs.
Yes, one day I'll work on that farmer
Yeah.
stand. But we have the in our
Oh, yeah.
weekly headlines.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. I
Oh,
got it out. Musicians are just destroying the planet.
Yeah, they are.
They're being reckless, I believe. At
You,
least that's what people are saying.
You teed us off to this this newfound
Yeah, so
information.
this one's it's about pollution and about our carbon footprint and about
the
these
music,
social justice warriors that are out there championing for
these fake social justice warriors.
yeah,
Right?
for all of our celebrities who are mainly musicians to lower their carbon footprint because you got these private jet owners like
that's-
Taylor
yes,
Swift,
yes.
Drake, and so many more. Jay-Z, Oprah Winfrey,
Steven Spielberg, like all these.
the list is
people.
huge.
high profile people.
And apparently they're being called out because they're taking these like short trips in their private jet, which produces some of the worst pollution possible.
Gnarly. I think
It's
you
like
said it.
Tons of thousands of tons of pollution. Yeah.
Yep.
I think you said even Drake was taking like 14-minute flights, right?
Yeah, that was crazy, right? He's like
Dude.
it's like not even up and down,
Yeah,
dude.
I know.
I don't even know.
He
'cause,
just like stays close to the ground.
Yeah.
He just flies down the highway. Actually,
Exactly.
14 minutes, like,
Dude, yeah.
man.
Like I was telling you guys, it takes longer to get the jet all set up and ready
I imagine, dude.
from just
Yeah.
to go. Like, what is that? Like 45 minutes, maybe? Like
in actual
driving?
distance, yeah, I would assume it's like 45 minutes because the trip from here to Vegas, which is a 3.5 hour drive,
Yeah.
is a 50-minute flight.
Shit.
So
Yeah.
I'm,
So what is he going like
Sometimes
10 miles
quicker,
or
too.
some
Yeah.
shit like that?
Sometimes quicker.
Yeah, I
What
don't.
the
He's not going
heck?
far at all. He's like, I need some milk.
I know.
Yeah, that's why it seems so careless and a little reckless, you know.
At that point, why don't you do like the thing where they take a helicopter? Because I know like there's a lot of like athletes in our area
that's
that
a good
like
idea.
will live in like Newport or something. Like Kobe was famous for living in Newport and taking his helicopter to
Yeah.
this whatever LA area.
LA to go practice,
I mean-
whatever. Yeah.
I even think a lot of baseball players, because play for the Dodgers or Angels, they'll do it as well.
Oh yeah.
So they take helicopters. I mean, he's gonna do that.
Is that I wonder how much less pollution that produces.
Yeah.
It's
I
gotta be
don't
less.
really
It's
know,
gotta be
yeah.
less.
I assume,
because obviously you just
helicopter.
have like,
Yeah.
the
But
motor that runs. We're all trying to figure it out right now.
Yeah.
We're all thinking, okay, you got the
I'm trying to
propeller and the
think,
motor and there's gas,
Because
but
I think what jets run off jet fuel, right?
the planes, yeah.
Yeah, they run off or planes run off fuel like jet fuel,
yep.
which is way more pollutant than I think actual helicopters run off diesel.
It sounds believable.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Sounds believable.
I think so.
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
burns a lot
But-
cleaner.
Let us
Yep.
know if anybody knows.
For all you out there.
We need a Jamie that will just research this for us. But yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty funny. But what was really crazy, which I didn't expect her to have so much like flight time, but Taylor Swift came out like
Is the worst
the
pollutant?
worst polluter, yeah, possible. But her management came to her defense. They were saying that she loans out her private jet all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
She's just that
And-
kind of person.
Yeah.
I was
she's
trying to think,
so-
how is that a defense? Shouldn't she like not
She's
loan
just-
it out so
yeah,
much?
she's still allowing other people to
You know
pollute.
what? She's still responsible.
Yeah.
You're absolutely
It's her
right.
jet. It's her jet.
That's the case closed. She's still responsible.
Yeah.
So that's good. Because originally I was thinking, well, yeah, I guess, she can't take full
Yeah.
responsibility. You know,
Well,
there's
it's
a lot
her
of
jet,
people.
so it's her
It's her
respons-
fucking jet.
Yeah.
It's her goddamn jet, man. So yeah, she is responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got to stop loaning that shit out, man.
Yeah, take responsibility. Realize that your jet is still polluting, even though you're not flying it.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly.
It's one of those things where like, well, I wasn't doing it. So
Yeah.
And she was like well over, like, I mean, I think it was 1,000 tons over
Wow.
the next
Oh,
person. And they were
jeez.
like, that's a lot though.
Yeah.
It's way more. I think the average person like us, we would
Yeah.
do 7 tons in a year. That's what we could produce if
Yeah.
we were traveling,
Mm.
which is nothing. Cause they're doing like, she did, I think 8,500.
Oof.
Yeah.
Tons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was wild.
And it's crazy. You gotta think of like, so I was remembering, was it a couple years ago? Coldplay said like they weren't gonna tour anymore until we figured out a like better environmental solution than jets or something like
That's
that.
right. Yeah.
That didn't last very long, I don't think.
Yeah, no. Money runs out quick.
But oh shit!
I think they're still
Fire the
traveling
jet.
on their boat right now. Like they're still trying to do their world tour, but they're just like
We'll get
trapped
there.
into the ocean,
Started doing the cruise line tours.
Yeah.
Oh god.
But
Don't those have like a really like a large amount of pollution that they create too? Like the cruise line ship? I heard
I'm
not too
something
sure.
like that.
I know, like,
I could believe that. Yeah.
Because it's also because it's like the size of a fucking small city.
Oh, they're huge.
Or they're
yeah.
saying like the
they're
amount of
creating so much,
pollution.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not like in the far as like fuel, but like waste. You
Yeah,
know?
there's something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I
I,
remember
think,
hearing-
Yeah, I think I did hear something that they are more efficient for some reason. Either the way they generate power
Yeah.
on the ship, like it's
Mm.
different than just burning fuel.
Like old steamboat.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
fucking
Steve.
got propellers or those things.
All the
at
gyms,
bottom.
Yeah.
the generators.
Everybody's actually propelling it when they get on a freaking bike in there.
You gotta pull your weight. That's why it was so cheap.
We're working shifts. You're next.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll see if any of the musicians change their tune.
Real
Yep.
quick, that would be an interesting idea, right? Like, let's say you had there was a new cruise liner, and your admittance on that freaking cruise is you have to pull your own weight by
Literally pulling your own weight.
yeah,
Like-
literally pulling your own weight. Imagine that, like everyone gets a week vacation, but you're gonna have to work 8 hours of one of those days as a shift. Would you do that?
Nah, probably
No,
not.
No, this is vacation, man.
It's
I'm trying to get
Exactly,
away.
Yeah.
It's like some new work.
Yep.
Ooh, but could you get a job doing that? Like, hey,
That's what it would turn into, right?
yeah, probably turn into like indentured servitude because you're living and working on the ship.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Freaking the musicians are like, oh damn it.
We did sign up for this.
But,
Anyway.
Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if the musicians change their tune. They decide to be a little more environmentally friendly,
Yeah, get rid of your jets.
Maybe.
or if anybody even cares in a little bit.
It's like ruining it for us though, right? Because I thought like maybe one day I would like to own a private jet. Like if I get to that point.
Yeah, then you get,
know,
like,
there's
act-
things that,
Then they guilt you into not being able to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd probably still do it, to be honest.
But I mean, obviously, if I had fuck you money, it'd be like fuck you.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
But another environmental story. There's a Britney Spears writing her book.
This
Right?
is true.
But they cannot print it because of a paper shortage.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Her new memoir. It's finished. But yeah, there's this paper shortage that they're experiencing. So I guess the release date was in January, but they're gonna push it now.
Oh,
2
okay.
more months.
I wonder like how that came. Like, you think is that something you learn last minute? Like you're going to print and be like, oh, sorry, like
Probably, yeah. That's like the last leg of it, right? Production wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it felt like you would have a
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
writing the book is obviously
Yeah.
the first, the most important part.
Yeah.
Like, how many pages is it? I don't even know. It's not even done yet.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, like, yeah, for sure.
How big is that book?
I imagine it's paperback, so maybe like a few hundred,
Yeah.
right? I don't think it's not
Yeah.
a novel like a 700-page book.
No.
Like I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, she's probably got a lot of freaking stories though.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, because I think she was covering everything from childhood to everything.
And then her
until now.
conservatorship probably is in there, I imagine.
And I think there were key things they wanted her to touch on specifically for that reason, because it's like it's a good selling point.
Yeah. It'll sell a
That
thing.
memoir came quick, right?
What do you mean? Oh, from her conservatorship
Yeah.
to the. Oh, you're right. Oh, I wonder if like right when she was free, like the book dealer's like, all right, now you're good to
Yeah,
go.
we got a
Like
book.
tell all stories.
Oh yeah, and this is I'm glad you brought that up because that is one thing that I wanted to mention. This is the largest book deal, I think ever.
Oh,
Really?
It's like 18 million or something. Yeah,
Whoa.
it's teens. It's either 15 or 18, but dude, crazy.
That is huge because I remember I was reading Stephen King has a book for writers, like whoever
Yeah.
wants to write it, and he kind of goes through his kind of thing. And I think he said on some of them he got advances of only like 500,000, when
Yeah.
he was already popular.
Yeah.
wow.
And I was like,
Shit.
damn. So for her to get like 18 mil, insane.
That's fucking
That's
incredible.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money for a book.
Yeah. Well, you got to think like Stephen King. He's obviously
Yeah.
a legendary writer, but he has like a certain audience where Britney Spears is like a pop
Yeah.
star. She has like a wider pool where people moms kids are gonna
Yeah.
be grabbing these books. Airport, they're gonna be like, oh, I want to check
Yeah.
this out.
Yeah,
Something-
basically reality fucking TV
Yeah.
in a book,
Exactly.
What if she what if she like read the book or audiobook? Would you want to hear that? Her read the book?
Ooh,
Nah.
I would not. I would not, but I imagine people would want it.
Yeah, people probably would pay for that.
In her voice and her, yeah.
Yeah. And it was confirmed 15 million. 15.
Oh,
shit.
15 million.
15.
Ooh.
Yep.
Oof.
Yeah. Wild though for a book. It's incredible.
Damn.
But it is because of that. Like I was telling you, they really want her to be able to like reveal a lot of information that
they wanted her to go
private.
deep in.
Tell us all.
Yeah.
Tell everything.
Yep.
But I think it's just another nail in the coffin of legend or legacy media. It's just the book needs to go to friggin' Audible
Yep.
and Kindles.
Right.
Tip.
Yeah.
Who reads?
Yeah. That's why we do podcasts. We didn't write a book. Because you're just listening to it. But from there, we'll talk about the game.
The game.
The game. Back in the game.
Back in the game.
Back in the game is back in the game.
According to him, he was here. So,
Yeah. Never left.
but yeah, he came first back on my radar. He did a verse on the new Logic album.
Yeah.
So it kind of kicked my the wheels turning. I was like, ooh, is he prepping for a new album? And then Rob told us that the new album is going to be coming out August 12th, I think he said.
Yeah. August 12th.
Yep.
Dramatic.
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 yes.
Yeah.
So is it an actual playoff of Nas's Illmatic, or is it just kind of a coincidence?
I don't even know. I just recently learned about the album myself.
Okay.
And I didn't get too many details on the title of it, but obviously it does have a very similar sounding thing. There is so this is a full title. Drillmatic, Heart versus Mind.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Interesting. So we're gonna go deep on this one.
Yeah, so something that I did read about it was he was saying that he hasn't been this driven to write lyrics in a long time. Since his inception, since the beginning,
okay.
since his freestyle days when he was just doing everything basically for fun.
He's got the fire again.
Yeah, so he's got a fire. And then that track
verse.
that I showed
Oh.
you guys on
Throw a clip.
the LA Leakers. Yeah,
Yeah.
that shit was fucking intense,
Yeah,
man.
you went hard on that shit.
Yeah.
Super lyrical, very creative with a lot of the lyrics that he was dropping too.
Clever as fuck.
So clever,
Yeah.
funny. It's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And just a beast
Yeah.
Dude,
altogether.
he just looked like I know he's normally
Yeah.
built, but he looked like super
Yeah.
fit.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I follow his Instagram and he's always working out and
Oof.
ripped and
Yeah, dude.
he looks good.
Got them prison muscles, but
Yeah.
And yeah, you like never let him go. You know, like you come out and you just keep it. But what I thought was dope, man, is he's so aggressive that I kind of perceive him as like this rap villain, you know?
Yeah.
Especially with kind of like his approach, dude, because he's like still gangster and street as
oh
fuck.
yeah.
And he realizes that there's a lot of other rappers that are trying to be tough, but he's like, he mentions it in there too. He's like, I'll be standing around, I'll stand in a room with other rappers And if they come with like some basically in a nutshell is what he said. If they say some fake shit, I'll fucking pull a jack move on them, like I'll steal their fucking jewelry from them or something, which I absolutely believe. Like, I don't know why, but I believe it, There's a lot of people that say shit and maybe won't back it up, but out of everybody, I feel like the game would, man. Like he's got a history of doing some crazy shit and also kind of hated for that too.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned like he kind of fell off or where did he go, and that's kind of what happens to him, man. He's like a little too real at moments.
Oh.
And people are like, this guy's fucking like a live wire, like
it's too much. So he ends up getting like pushed out of the spotlight for a bit.
Yeah.
It's too hard.
Yeah.
But I like that. The rap villain, the rap Thanos.
Yeah, because man, I mean, in that fucking short clip that I showed you, he even says like, I'm your worst nightmare, and he compares himself to Jason and Freddy. And I was
Myers,
like, Michael Myers. I'm like, that's like not a bad place to be, Like, man, most people want to like be loved by everybody, and they have a different projection that they're trying to sell.
Oof.
But that's not a bad sell. That's not a bad sell.
This might be a slight stretch, but the idea of like the love for villains too is like coming out.
Yeah.
Like I mean, we've seen like the movie like Joker. People love Joker. Both Heath Ledger's and Joaquin Phoenix's recent one. And to think like to be the villain of like the rap game, like you're right. Like that's not a bad place to be. Because people love what do you call it? What do they call it when like a villain is interesting or like you like sympathetic villain?
Yeah.
Where you're like, you know what? I know why you're the way you are. Like you can see like the way he is, like because in that like the freestyle they did, you can see where he was saying that he's been disrespected. He doesn't he doesn't need to be he doesn't need to be Kendrick. He doesn't need to be Cole. He doesn't need to be Dre.
Yep.
And so to like put him in that where he's
it's like the villain that you kind of are. Or did you already say the sympathetic villain?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Because I was trying to remember that term. I was like,
sympathetic villain. It's like if you guys seen Thor, but like what's his name?
Gore. Oh yeah, Gore the guy. Yeah.
Like you get he's a bad guy, but he's doing it for a reason. For his kid.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. For sure. This guy's definitely got a drive, and his intention isn't the worst, but who he's opposing, we're not like. I'm not against it.
Yeah.
The people that he's opposing in his, villainy, I'm like, okay, yeah, they probably do need to be stepped to, or approached.
And then when you have this mindset, like you can see, like what I was telling you guys, his verse in Logic is a feature in Logic's album. Like I wasn't, feeling too much, but when you guys showed me the verse he did, the freestyle I did, I was like, damn. I was like, there's passion there. I was like, this new album, if it hits like that,
it's gonna be awesome. Hard.
And one thing that I did like too was he's doing some really creative shit. Like he was doing, he said he was doing this in the beginning, and he hasn't done it in a while. But he's like, lyrics will hit me and like out of nowhere. Like he'll be driving on the road, and he said, I'll just pull over and fucking just start writing all the lyrics in my phone, man. He's like, I don't want to forget it, and I know that it's fucking something that I haven't thought of before.
Yeah.
Which was something I was telling you guys too off the mic. I was like, isn't it weird that we hear like all these dope verses from people, but they've never been like, how have we never heard those words put together in a sentence before, Like, and it's always like mind blowing. We're like, oh shit.
Yeah. There's only so many words and so many rhymes. It's like, how did you put that together?
Yeah.
Like the whole Monistat line was hella clever.
That was good.
Hella clever.
Man.
The Mufasa one too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so many like
really good references.
Yeah,
really good wordplay for sure, dude.
So
good.
August 12th?
Yep.
August 12th. Maybe ready.
Maybe album review?
Oh, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
We'll do that when it comes out.
Hell yeah.
You guys take a listen to it too, and then when the album review comes out, be ready to go along with this. But you guys ready to take our first break?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yep.
All right.
First up, we have Lewis the Child with Passion.
All right, welcome back. You guys just heard Sleepwalking by Bring Me the Horizon.
Fuck yeah.
Oof.
That's good.
I love this album.
Yep.
Very good album.
Yeah, when it dropped, I was like, whoa. Yeah. It's like pretty much a beat, like front to back.
Yeah.
Listen.
I would say it's probably my favorite Bring Me the Horizon album. They came out, like, they have a few songs after that that really hit hard.
Yeah.
Like Drown was really a good one. But, dude, their progression to a different sound. Like, I feel like they went like Linkin Park after that for a bit. New release kind of goes a little bit back to the original Bring Me the Horizon sound. But yeah, they did this song, this album, very good.
Yep, real good.
Kind of leads us into our discussion for this segment. Is the question is, should a band change their name if their sound changes too much?
Mhm.
And we were listening to music before this, and a band came on in the background called 100th.
Yep.
And anybody who listens to them, they were originally kind of like a hardcore band, like a metalcore band.
Yeah.
Then totally changed up. Now they're like a shoegazy, you know, like no screaming,
Just super,
like, very little distortion, you know, synthy sound, you know.
Oh yeah, really synthy.
Yeah, like really reverb vocals and everything. Totally changed their sound.
Yeah, that's why when I heard it and I was like, "Oh, this is cool. This is." And you're like 100th. I was like,
Then Ed was confused for a minute. He's like, "Wait a minute."
"Yeah, like that same band."
So was I. I
Yeah,
was being quiet, but
yeah.
I was like, did I fucking just like forget how they sounded?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, no way. This is so random.
But prompted the question, and we wanted to talk about it. It was like, should a band change their name? Because Ed was like, "Oh, why didn't they just change their name?
Yeah.
Like, why didn't they just go forward?" And we were kind of like kicking it back and forth, like the pros and cons of like a band keeping their name the same, or should they have changed it?
Right.
And then we were listening to Bring Me the Horizon. And we're like, oh, they could be on the cusp of that because they literally went from a deathcore sound to like a kind of a pop rock, like kind of almost like that butt rocky kind of new metal sound.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's like,
I've never heard that before.
What?
Butt rock.
Butt rock, yeah.
Me either.
Butt rock.
That was cool though.
Butt rock is like that, you know, that new metal, like almost like where new metal and dad rock kind of meet.
Oh.
Then you got butt rock. Yep.
And then when you're like standing up dancing, like you grab your butt and you thrust it, like you gotta like
because your back is hurting.
Force it. Yeah. Yeah, that's the butt rock.
Yeah.
That's
a dance move, actually.
Like
but yeah, they could be a candidate for like a band who kind of changed their name.
Yeah.
Or change their sound, and possibly should have changed their name.
Change your name, yeah.
And what do we say? Oh, Under Oath.
Oh yeah.
Coming from kind of the cries of the past, changing the times era, and then right into like They're Only Chasing Safety.
Yep.
Right into like a pop screamo sound. Not only that, I wonder if Under Oath's a better candidate because literally all the members are different now. You know, like I think once.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
like they were almost all completely different.
From what was it?
Changing the Times.
Yeah, Changing the Times.
The only original member. Well, technically, I mean, so the only really original member was Aaron at that point. Like everybody had already changed.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're going to change that much, like, should you just change your name? Like,
that's what I always thought.
Yeah.
I mean, I always thought that you can probably use a little bit of your existing celebrity or following and be like, hey guys, we're now this.
Yeah.
Like, please listen.
Yeah. But I wonder, like, and especially like if you don't have a big following, like if you're like, I mean, Under Oath wasn't that popular at that point. And then same thing with when we're talking about 100th, like they're not that popular where they need to keep their name. Like I could see maybe like a Bring Me the Horizon. Like, okay, like they keep their name because they already have a following. They're already pretty popular.
Yeah.
But like if you haven't really made a name for yourself, like
there's no point in keeping the name.
Yeah, like just especially if you're still.
Oh, that kind of fucking makes her. Because then if nobody really knows, then it doesn't really matter if you change to keep your name, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Like
it makes it already it's solved.
I wonder if they're like married to the name. Like they're like, man, this is the fucking dopest name ever. Like 100th means a lot to me. Or
I mean, it's a pretty cool name. When I first heard that name 100th, I was like, that's a cool name. It's a cool name.
Yeah, it's unique.
I always wondered too if it's a thing where like you're trying to challenge your fans to come along with you on like the change. You know, like I mean, you could even say like you put AFI in the same category. Like I mean,
I was thinking about them too.
From The Art of Drowning to Sing the Sorrow, I mean, pretty drastic change. I mean, Davey's voice is still like the glue that held that sound together, but you know, I mean, pretty from musicality, musicianship, they were pretty different.
Yeah, this is one of those questions that I think we kind of like have to pose where it's a band like AFI. I think we've grown to the point where we understand they're a little more creative and they're taking these artistic liberties to grow and give us something different every time, you know? Where I don't know. I wonder where we separate it, because we are bringing up this, this conversation in the first place. Like, if a band changes their sound, should they change their name? But it's funny that we'll accept it from AFI, while growing with AFI, we just completely accepted it without ever posing that question then, like, man, they changed, should they change their name? But
my thought is it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think with AFI though, like their change felt more gradual. I think
yeah.
Like, it was always just
you
incrementally.
Think it was pretty,
I think every album was really like a
big change, or
yeah, I think so. For me, because
I would think that they tried to do something like you were saying last time with that 70-30 rule.
Yeah, 70-30.
They probably followed something similar to where they were bringing in, like, they're taking with them 30% of their old album or old sound.
Which is the name?
Introduced 70 more percent. Yeah, just the name of it.
I mean, because think of like Black Sails in the Sunset to Art of Drowning.
Yeah.
They were different, but I felt like they were way more in the same ballpark than like Art of Drowning to Sing the Sorrow.
I think those are more in the ballpark than
you
like,
think so? Really?
I think so.
I mean, like,
I think so. Because I felt like the Black Sails in the Sunset was like a straight punk album. Not like a full, like, there's a couple of songs that are like a little bit down on the BPM, but like when you go from the Art of Drowning to Sing the Sorrow, it kind of sounded like they could have just blended together.
Really?
A little bit, yeah.
I felt there were some similarities, but like for me, it felt like the biggest change. But that's interesting. Right. Yeah.
I mean, the stark difference would be like Very Proud of You to Black Sails. Like that's two different fucking sounds
for sure.
Completely. You know, even Davey's voice was so different. That was like the early like like which I love at the moment. I really did. I
still love it. It still sounds good.
Wild.
I'm gonna clip that and be like, "You're speaking tongues." Like, just keep it going.
But
it's, speaking in tongues voice.
It is so different compared in contrast to Black Sails or anything else they did, which I think Black Sails definitely was almost a standalone sound because they were really hard there.
Yeah.
But they never sort of replicated that sound again, They kind of like fine-tuned it, made it a little more palatable for new listeners.
A little more commercial.
Went more commercial.
And I think about the change between Very Proud of You and
Answer that?
Or
Two Black Sails.
No. You're forgetting about the one, Shut Your Mouth and Close Your Eyes.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a very...
See, that was the lead up to Black Sails.
Yeah. So that was that transition to that. Yeah.
And see, that's what's cool because you could always see a little bit of that in them. Back to that 70-30 rule. You'll kind of hear a little bit of what they kept, but mixing in this whole fucking new sound.
Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. Because every album was a gradual change to where, like, 100th was something where it's like, but I heard them
day and night change.
Oh, boom!
Literally, the only transition for 100th was an EP.
Yeah,
it might have been an album, I think, and then it was just a whole new. Actually, no, it was pretty much just change to a different sound. And so I'm wondering, like, at that point, like, it's kind of the question. You know how like some people will be like, oh, that band isn't that band anymore. You know, like they changed their sound. Some fans will say that about a certain artist. We're like, oh. I missed the old whatever, fill in the blank, they don't sound the same. And I'm wondering if a band does change their sound so much, is that what maybe fans want? It's like, oh, well, just become a different band because you've changed your sound so much. Like maybe it's just like a fan thing because they were.
I think so, but I don't want to think like that just because it feels like I'm like a stickler or like, I don't want to have that.
I root you into this box. So this is who you are.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool. Like, I get it. Bands are going to make their progressions. Music and artists in general are going to make their progressions. And footsies. But then I also don't want to just be like, oh, this is how you're supposed to sound, from there. This just sounds very old manish.
Yeah, that's the the kind of the position I always took was like, hey, bands are allowed to, kind of progress in their sound.
Yep.
But it's like, at the same time, it's like, 100's an interesting one because it was such a drastic change.
Yeah.
Like
it was like hardcore to shoegaze.
Yeah.
Which is a very drastic difference,
I just had a really random thought, but do you guys recall when we were coming up, first making music, there was sort of this train of thought where you kind of needed to be a little well-rounded. Like we were playing sort of like pop punk-ish
Yeah.
sound. But if you guys recall, we were bringing in like old doo-wop covers. You know,
Yeah.
We were trying to cover what was it? What the fuck did we cover?
Oh, dude,
I think we're alone now. That was not so doo-woppy, but I think there was something
fuck, I'm trying to think.
Did we
of
do
the song.
Brown Eyed Girl?
I think it was
Yeah,
Brown Eyed Girl.
Yeah.
And there was maybe something else where it wouldn't have been obviously traditional for us to even freaking cover, but it was that whole idea of, well, we're artists and we're capable. That's not what we were thinking, but I think that's where that whole thing stemmed from. Like there are artists that do exist and they're capable of just producing like so many different sounds, you know, like albums I think used to have more people like experimenting back in the day. Like they were a punk band, but they would throw a little bit of ska in there, like a little bit of reggae, you know, they would try to like, people would have like their slow song, a reggae song, like a hard song that kind of fit. And a band was just trying to like, sort of like figure out their sound while they were actually living it, you know, like they were like, okay, you know, if that picks up more, maybe we'll start going towards that, you know, and like lean into the ska if that, you know, hits harder.
So they like let their their influence kind of live more in the albums, as opposed to like, okay, this is our sound, but we're just gonna bring all our influences and kind of like produce music that maybe takes influences from all of those. So it has a different feel. Yeah,
because I do remember that. Like bands would always have like a slow song, you know? And traditionally speaking, when you're thinking about rock music or punk music,
the ballad.
You wouldn't think, but they would throw that in there. And it was always like that, maybe like the A&R, hey man, you gotta appeal to this other demographic that you might not necessarily appeal to otherwise. So they would always have those songs in there, you know, which I think if you're a good artist, you're capable of like pulling it off, you know? And I think in this case with pulling it back in with Bring Me the Horizon, they've like done so much with like the hardcore and the like the metal scene that they're like, well, we're actually really talented and we can do
so much more.
So let's like throw our hat into that and see what it sounds like under the name of Bring Me the Horizon still. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like how and why and, you know. And
I think
maybe the thought process.
I was kind of thinking of like when we changed our name, you know, like we went from, you know, Dish to Rosaline.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think a name change comes when you feel the band is actually changed.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe like Bring Me the Horizon or maybe even 100th. Like they're like, oh, we're
making different
we're making different music, but we feel the same. Like we feel like we're all on the same pace, you know, we're
there you go.
Kind of like with our musical aspirations, as opposed to like when a band does, you know, even if they are similar members, like Anatomy of a Ghost to Portugal the Man.
Yeah.
Maybe they felt like they were just a different band. It's such a different band that they needed a different name, you know?
And sometimes too, it'll give you that rebirth that you're looking for, you know, the rejuvenation. You want to just, you know, turn the page from that old and just, you know, show up with something brand new.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing too.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels good sometimes.
If you are in a band, you're toiling over a name change, feel it, do it.
Do it.
But send it to us first and let us mull it over.
We'll let you know if you really should do it.
Yeah.
No. Just quit, actually. Don't go on any further. Be an accountant. But let us know what you guys think.
Yeah.
If are there any bands that or musicians? Any musical groups that you enjoyed that changed their sound so much that you're like, they should have changed their name? Or do you feel like it's an artist thing, they can do whatever they want?
Yeah. Does it bother you?
Oh, yeah. Let us know. But from there, you guys want to head into our next break?
Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right, boys and girls, we got a new one from Black Audio called Cowboy Night.
Can I talk my shit now?
Okay, friends, that was Cal Scrubby once again on our podcast with Donnie Darko. Hope you guys liked it.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, bump it loud during the week. There's a lot of like phrases in that song that I just like to like repeat in my own head, and I usually listen to that at least a couple times a week.
He's got a chill vibe. Like, I don't like always comparing people, but like a Jack Harlow-esque vibe, you know?
Yeah.
So, but I was digging it.
Yeah.
Sent us down a little memory lane of Donnie Darko.
Yep.
Yeah, which I don't think you got to hear it from our perspective because we listened to it here too. But at the end of the track, it almost whispers it, and it's it's the character from Donnie Darko, the bunny man.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, why are you wearing that man suit?
yeah,
I was like, oh, that's so awesome, dude.
Dude, that movie was like, it sent me on like it was like the start to my like trippy like art house type movies, you know?
It's so funny that movie did that to us, man.
Yeah.
It was at a time, and it almost spun us into this whole like independent film like era
Yeah.
as well, where we started looking for more trippy films. And the only place you could really find that was in indie films.
Yeah.
Because like mainstream people just
they
weren't trying to do
weren't
shit like
doing
that.
that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, too experimental.
But good track, man. Good track.
Yeah.
So you guys ready to get back into this episode?
Let's do it.
Hey.
Talk about another we're just gonna like peg him into like a white rapper round, but another musician that is doing some good things. Post Malone.
Yeah.
He's
Posty.
in the headlines for good reasons, right?
Yeah, good reasons. This one's pretty cool. First of all, this guy's like always doing cool shit, right?
Yeah.
Like,
He just seems like the dude you want to hang out with.
yeah.
Like he's like, you call him up, like whatever your plans are, like he's going to make the time better, you know?
Yeah. And I think he doesn't have his head up his ass in the sense that he doesn't kind of feel like he's made it yet. And I like that, you know? He's not putting himself in that position where like, I made it. You know, he still treats himself like you said, like if you call him and hit him up, he's like, yeah, I'm there, you know? Other people are like, no, I'm too big for that.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll check and look at my calendar, bullshit. But seems down to earth for what it's worth.
He's got like a humble persona about him. Like he was on Steve-O's podcast.
Oh, that's
sick.
cool.
And he just seemed like he was just excited to hang out. Like he's like, oh, I grew up watching Jackass.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just happy to be here. You know?
Oh, that's sick, dude. So rad.
So
Good mentality to have.
Yeah. So in these headlines, the most recent headlines, no different. He's doing this Magic the Gathering competition with one single fan, one lucky fan. And if they win him in this game of Magic the Gathering, he's going to gift them $100,000.
That's dope.
That's so crazy, dude.
Pretty sick.
That's cool.
So did you just say like how he's going to like I guess compile the people for this, or
I don't know how that's
It's
going to
probably
happen.
gonna be like a random drawing, and then that person will end up
okay.
playing.
That sounds
playing with
right.
them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
fair.
my head, I was thinking he was gonna have like his own like Malone tournament or something like you know.
That'd be cool.
Just for that placement
Yeah.
right there. That's pretty cool, dude.
That would be kind of cool.
Well, the pot's $100,000.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest pot that's ever been like
for Magic the
for
Gathering.
Magic the
I can
Gathering. You know?
Yeah, there's people itching out there like, fuck.
Damn,
I won 10 grand one time. And like that was
They're
it.
looking at their collection. They're like, it's finally worth it.
Yeah.
Dude,
You're right. That sounds like one of those things that you would get like a $500 grand prize.
Yeah.
$500.
Yeah.
Starbucks gift card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's the worst, man.
Dude, but this has to come from like I'm wondering if he's like been into Magic the Gathering or if it like this spawned from like the Stranger Things type of thing. Like
Maybe.
'cause everybody's getting into Dungeons and Dragons now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like in Magic the Gathering is adjacent.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
For sure. It's like, I think it came out in the 90s, and it's like kind of the same thing, like a card game like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
You know?
Of course, we're speaking from inexperience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
They're like hardcore guys are like, no, it's not the same.
Yeah. So we should say that. We're very inexperienced.
I do know that it came out in the 90s. That's what I do for sure. 93 to be exact. But
Dude, I remember going to like malls and them having like displays of like cars and things like that. You know,
I think I might have gotten some cards once, but not like I think I might have like gotten them at a swamp meet when I was getting comic cards and they were in there, type deal.
Here, take this.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
But I was never really one into like to those like because it's kind of like probably be mad, but it's like a Pokemon card game, you know?
Yeah.
So I mean, from what I known is he's a big nerd and maybe he's played that for a while. So
Possible, right?
It would not surprise me. It would not surprise me. I mean, you were just showing the old school clip of him like doing some emo songs.
yeah. So it's like
Yeah.
It was funny because I'll throw a quick little thing of it, but I didn't realize that it was Post Malone in the center. Like, I was like, which one's Post Malone? And you're like, the one in the center. I was like, what the hell?
Dude, he's got like his metal hair.
Yeah,
all his curly long hair.
You look like the dude from what's his the Workaholics.
you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
I forget his name too.
oh, me too.
But that's what I was
curly
picturing.
hair dude. That's all I say.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's what I pictured, dude. But
That's cool. $100,000 for whoever beats him. That's cool.
Not bad. And you get the opportunity to hang out with Post.
Yeah, that's like
That's really awesome, dude. I'm sure after that too, this person's Instagram is gonna blow up.
Yeah, dude.
Micro celebrity little things are gonna get attached to it. You know.
Hey, you never know. And then the Magic Gathering community will get bigger too.
That's it too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like, look, I do love Dungeons and Dragons 2, dope game, but like you're saying, since it came out in the 90s, I'm attached to Magic the Gathering. Let's fucking boost that up too, and let's make this all. And I'm sure there's also some positive, like, you know.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if it's going to be sponsored by, Magic the Gathering too.
Dude, or get a...
Sure,
yeah, perfect, you know?
Better way to bring that sponsorship money in too, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Or prize money.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to foot the whole bill?
Yeah.
Dude, or like you were telling us when you were talking about Dungeons and Dragons last one, where the guys who got picked up by Amazon, they have like
they have their own fucking show.
Yeah, if he gets picked up by like Amazon to have like a Magic the Gathering kind of just show.
He could host.
Yeah, exactly.
The host of the most.
Ooh, like started off with his tournament against the fan.
Yeah.
And then be like, coming, season of Magic the Gathering.
Oh, dude,
like
this
that.
can, you're right. This could be
Host
an
the
ongoing
host.
thing. I can see it happening.
Oh, he'll be host Malone. He'll be host Malone.
Oh man, that's a perfect that's a perfect time for a name change or an adaptation, you know.
You know what, this with like Stranger Things coming out and Post doing things, there's a lot of other things, like a lot of these fantasy shows getting picked up. A lot of people were always into like Lord of the Rings, Hobbit,
all the fantasy
nerd
stuff.
culture.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys got like some Dungeons and Dragons stuff or some Magic Gathering stuff, keep it.
Yeah.
It's gonna get collectible prices are gonna blow up on those things.
Especially right now. Did you see they're doing a remake of Dungeons and Dragons? They just dropped a trailer for the movie.
Oh yeah,
from Comic-Con. Yeah. Chris Pine is going to be like the main guy.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all on a quest, to do whatever.
Do Dungeons and Dragons shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I never dove into it.
D&D shit.
D&D shit.
But it looks pretty cool. Like
it looks cool. I was like fascinated by it. I was like, all right, cool. See how it is.
It's funny because the only experience I have into D&D is Stranger Things.
Yeah.
So I assume it's a little more moody and dark, but like this one is a little more like campy and has like some comedic, tones to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different,
Yeah, because you could, Stranger Things did it one way, but it's all just storytelling.
Yeah, however you want to
tell however you want to write your campaign or whatever, if you want it to be funny or whatever, it's up to you. It's just basically you're given the tools to do whatever you want with it.
Nice.
So it's pretty cool.
To be as creative with it as you want.
What an interesting thing that's existed for so long, and we were like never attached to. That's
the thing.
Yeah.
The thing is, you don't know how much that game influenced everything else, like the games you play.
Right.
It's influenced everything, because role playing video games came from actually, Dungeons and Dragons role playing is an actual role playing game.
Wild, awesome, man.
I wonder too, like
movies too.
I imagine, dude. Steven Spielberg, he's got to like have it in his movie somewhere. I was wondering, like, what's the precursor? It'd be interesting to find out what the precursor to D&D is. Like, what inspired that? I imagine there was like kind of like the like the indie version of D&D going around.
Yeah.
And then that became the more popular version.
Like, what were the Brothers Grimm playing back in their day?
I know.
Like,
before they got ripped off by Disney.
Yeah.
Because they're also storytellers too.
Big time,
And like these are the stories, like you just said, ripping off. Disney ripped them off.
Oh yeah,
big time.
These are stories that we've been adopted and adapted and just fucking used forever. And I can imagine, like what were they capable of thinking of in their time? Right then, they must have. We could play a game.
Yeah,
like, we're trying to play a game.
All Disney did was just flip the ending right to make it happy.
Yeah,
because most of their shit was just a little darker.
Yeah. It was grim.
Yeah,
grim. It was grim. Yeah.
Hello.
It reminds me. I've been watching. PBS has this thing on YouTube called Tales of something. I used to be called Monstra, where like basically what they do is they dive into a mythical creature and then give you the backstory on like where it came from through history and then into popular culture.
Nice.
So they'll take like Nessie.
Yeah,
exactly. They take Nessie or
Chupacabra.
They take a lot of those.
Yeah. I think I've seen
the Yeti.
Yeah.
They'll take all those, and it's kind of cool to hear like the lore behind everything and where it came from, certain cultures and things like that.
I love that. I do. I was watching something recently too. I don't know if it was the same thing, but it was talking about. No, it wasn't that. It was the new William Shatner Unexplained show or whatever.
Oh.
He's the host of it.
Yeah, I did see a trailer. Is that on Amazon? Is that where I
It's
see
on
it?
Hulu or
Oh.
maybe Netflix. One of the two.
Yeah.
Either way, we don't want to pump them
One,
up anyways. It's
one
out
of the,
there.
one of the 20.
Yeah. Go and find it.
Something I'm paying for.
It's one of the top 5. But yeah, it's that one. They were talking about the chupacabra too, and they were talking about some other lore animals. And because of the chupacabra, when they were bringing it up, they were like, "Well, it's from here," and they were kind of like telling something like that, like
Oh, the history behind
the
it.
history
Yeah.
behind
The
it
myth.
and why it may look like some other animal that exists, or they kind of almost came to the conclusion that the chupacabra is a cross. It's a hybrid.
Oh, okay, all right.
It's
Okay.
a hybrid. It's like some mountain animal, like a mountain coyote, a certain type of coyote,
Mountain goat. Ah!
mixed with some other animal that they normally wouldn't mix.
Crossbreed, yeah.
But they said that it makes sense because the certain animal, if it reached the border of this other
Oh,
place,
okay.
that those two animals could have been
Could've fell
together.
in
Oh, the
love.
actual animal, like the
Yeah.
real. Okay, that's
They could've
right.
because
fell in love
one of them looks like a
and-
wolf and the other one is a wolf or something. So the wolf could have been confused and
I'm like, oh, I think
let
it's
it
a wolf.
impregnate it. It was a weird thing.
Yeah.
It was a weird thing. But I was like, I buy that.
I buy that.
I buy that. Look, it kind of sounds right,
Yeah, animals are kind of good at sensing their kind,
Yeah.
but maybe there's just one dumb animal out there.
Isn't that a weird thing, though?
Yeah.
Isn't that a weird thing like that? That obviously we mix and we're
Yeah.
interbreeding.
Crossbreeders.
Crossbreeding.
Yeah, we're not
Crossbreeding.
interbreeding.
Yeah,
but-
crossbreeding. That's the.
I mean,
We're all the
we are
same.
interbreeding then, right? We're all same.
I guess that would be interbreeding, right? We're technically not crossbreeding, them, right? I don't know. Like, I
We're
feel
not
like-
crossbreeding
'Cause
because
we're all human.
We're all the same species.
yeah.
We're all the
Yeah.
same species, but
We're all interbreeding. You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're
People
right.
listening are like, what the fuck are they talking
I
about?
know. It's just
Where does it go? I don't know. The only thing I was going to say, it's that you just don't see like a dog bird, or
Yeah.
like a seal mixed with something else. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Well, the little that I know about science is that there is little.
very little. We don't know that much about
the
science.
reason why, even if they were to like mate, their genes don't they don't mix, so they couldn't create offspring. That's
Okay.
why you can't do
so
that.
they can't. The egg won't even be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's
You know.
actually how how you tell evolution is, because one species has evolved so much that they can no longer mate with the last one. So like that's why we can't mate with like Homo sapiens or no. What's the one before us? The sapien before us,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
our species evolved enough where they're no longer the same to mate.
Oh,
So,
okay,
got
got
it.
it.
The little that I know, that's why it does that.
That's interesting.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But Magic the
Malone.
Gathering.
Yeah. Post Malone, there you
Well, Magic the Gathering and $100,000 grand prize. It's not a bad deal. So if you know how to play, maybe you should try to
Ooh,
get in the
challenge,
competition. Yeah.
Win his Bronco. He has a pretty sweet Bronco.
Oh, he
dude.
does have a sweet Bronco. Yeah. He actually talks about it quite a bit too.
Yeah.
I think he's that's like his favorite car he's ever owned. He said,
Dude,
"Yeah, I
so
remember."
sick,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Again, what a cool guy.
Yeah.
I like this
Bronco.
man.
A
He's not
Bronco.
talking about freaking like a Bugatti.
Yeah.
He's not
no.
talking about these other cars. I'm sure he owns some pretty dope cars, but
The
his
Bronco.
favorite is a fucking Bronco.
Yeah.
So
That's
sick,
what kind of
dude.
guy he is.
Yeah.
We'll have him on the podcast one day.
Yeah.
But from there, let's head into our next break.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
All right, friends. Next up is Hot Blooded by New Constellations.
All right, welcome back, everybody. You just heard, hands down, the godfather of emo. Thank you, Ed. Dashboard Professional, aka Chris Caraba, with "Am I Missing?"
Yep.
Yeah,
Heck yeah, dude. Definitely Godfather.
Godfather for sure.
Definitely, man.
dude, he's gonna go down in history.
Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
Nino.
Yeah,
he's the Nino.
Emo. The Nino of emo.
Oh,
Oh my
no.
god, dude. It's such a good episode. I'm just kidding.
What's some good writing for us, though, in this one?
Damn, that's not bad. That's not bad. Just to cap that off, that was a great setup.
Yeah.
We just spiked it right there.
Boom. Ed loaded the bases.
Yeah.
Rob came up. Boom.
Here we go. Home run.
Oh yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed that one.
Yep.
If you're not familiar, do yourself some educational work. Go listen to Dashboard's. So the first one was Swiss Army Romance, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah. But yes, go do yourself a favor, listen to all of it.
What's the other one? The
Infidelities.
Infinity Saga.
Is there something called like Matchbook and something? And
No, you
well,
think
there's a
Matchbook
Swiss Army
Romance?
Romance.
no. There's something. Well, the second album
Oh,
after that had like a bunch of words in it, like
Well, the places you come to fear the most.
that's
oh, that's a
what
good
you're
album
thinking.
right there.
That's the one I
Go.
was actually thinking
there,
of.
Jack, go.
There we go. Yes, that one you have
And
to
the
get.
Swiss Army Romance is the first album.
Yes, that was the first one.
There we go.
But I have to add that to the vinyl list.
Yep.
Places you come to fear the most.
That's a good album right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'd be a good one. But yes, I hope you guys, if you guys are not listening on Spotify, please do so. If you want to hear all the music we've played for the week or for this episode,
Yeah.
all the music we're digging for the week.
Yep.
But if you're enjoying the episode wherever you are, continue to do
It's
so.
fine.
If you have any suggestions for some possible music listings, plays, whatever,
We got a suggestion box right outside the studio.
Yeah,
Yep.
come on, just swing by. We're down on Fairfax and. But yes, slide into the DMs, give us some suggestions if you have any.
Yes, please.
We'll thank you kindly on the episode for them.
Yeah.
But I think that's
One last thing. Since this is July 31st, our good friend Sean Paramore, it's
Yes.
his birthday. Happy birthday,
yes.
Sean.
Happy birthday.
Big Sean. His presence can be felt wherever you go.
Yep.
Just because
yeah.
he's an infectious personality.
Yes.
Love you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, buddy.
brother.
And what better way to close out the episode than to say
Yeah.
that? But thank you all
That's
for
it.
tuning in. Thank you for listening wherever you did listen. And until next time, everybody, take care.
Peace.
Later.